Corey Travis Micciolo. He liked the solar system. He liked to play outside. His mom describes him as silly and happy. Corey was 6 on April 2nd, 2021, when his father murdered him. His father is this defendant, Christopher Gregor. This defendant is guilty of abuse and murder because healthy 6-year-olds don't just die during the course of a business day, and neither did Corey Micciolo.
6-year-olds don't just die. Healthy 6-year-olds don't. Something has to happen to them for that to happen. Here is the victim. He's 6 years old, Corey Micciolo, a little kid from Jersey. The defendant, his own father, Christopher Gregor. There he is in court again today. Sergeant Coles testified today and talked about the search history of this defendant and the search history after the abuse on the treadmill on March 20th, before the death on April 2nd, and some searches afterwards. Let's take a listen.
A search conducted on March 25th, 2021 at 9:31 p.m. The body of the search states, will red marks turn into bruises? The next entry is April 2nd, 2021 at 6:22 p.m. The search was, can your phone be tracked in airplane mode?
The next one.
The next search was for April 2nd, 2021 at 6:10:35 p.m. for, can my car be tracked? Next search was on April 4th, 2021 at 9:58:03 a.m. The search was, there was a murder determined from an autopsy. How long to file charges?
Is there another one?
The last one is on April 4th, 2021 at 10:21:16 a.m. The search was, how long after an autopsy to file charges get filed?
All right, testimony continuing on a Wednesday. Let's bring back in our think tank, Ann Bremner, Rick King, Philip Dubé. Philip, the only thing he didn't Google was, can police track my Google searches? Like, come on. This guy supposedly is getting his master's at Johns Hopkins? Like, really? How incriminating? Is there an innocent explanation for any of that, Philip?
None. No, the only thing maybe he could come up with is that he's, writing a script for a reality TV true crime show or something like that. He's going to be the next Scotland Yard and help people crack cases. He's going to be the voice of trying to talk people out of using Google and Bing and Yahoo, that kind of thing. But otherwise, no. This is a telltale sign. It truly is of what was going through his mind. And that's what's really frightening about the World Wide Web. Whatever we type in there is indelibly etched out there for the world to see for eternity, or unless and until it somehow gets purged. And it really does tell you what is on a person's mind. So if you have those types of deep, dark thoughts, keep them to yourself or tell your therapist, but don't type them on the internet. Otherwise, you're going down like Amelia Earhart. Seriously.
It's amazing, Ann Bremner. Here we are, this is in 2021 where all this is happening. Like, you don't realize this stuff, and this abuse, it's hard to watch.
Yeah.
He's 6 years old, and this isn't, he doesn't die until April 2nd, but this clearly is an indicator of the type of abuse and conduct that this father engages in or engaged in with his 6-year-old son.
Yeah, he said he was too fat, and the kid falls off like we see, and he's got these bruises and everything else. And 6, kids don't just die at 6. I was thinking of that poem, I think it was A.A. Milne, that said, now I'm 6, I'm as clever, I think I'll be 6 now forever and ever. That's a 6, and he wasn't around that much before, as I read. He kind of swooped in and kind of took over with this child and intentionally, I think, murdered him.
Rick, the tragedy here is that a 6-year-old boy wants to be like his dad. At least most of them do, right? You're a little boy, you want to be like dad. You want to, this is my guy. This is my guy. And for him to break that trust through that abuse and potentially, if the jury tells us, through murder, that is beyond. That is beyond.
Yeah, just as a 6-year-old boy, you look up to your dad, and you're looking to him to protect you, to guide you, to show you. You want to do those things. You want to jump on that. You know, that kid probably, he didn't realize what was going on. He thought Dad's trying to strengthen me. He's trying to train me. He's trying to do whatever. Dad is killing this kid, and he's looking up to him. And this is, you know, this is his hero. And the tragedy is that this little kid was killed by his hero.
I'm looking at that photo right there. Looks like Dad probably should have gotten on the treadmill, Philip. Seriously, like, what's going on here? Like, in what world does a 6-year-old need to go on a treadmill for anything? A 6-year-old should be outside playing. That's how we burn calories when we're 6 years old. We go out and we play. Dad takes us outside. Maybe we have a catch. You know, whatever you do, that's what's supposed to. You don't throw him on a treadmill.
No, of course not. But I must say, if I were defending him, honestly, and I genuinely mean this, I'm not sure that he truly had an intent to kill. Remember, they have to prove that culpable state of mind, that he really wanted to end the life of this child, you know? There was supposed to be some evidence from an expert who was going to testify that the child was septic. And if the child was septic, it means he had a form of blood poisoning. And one of the symptoms of blood poisoning or sepsis is a spasmodic condition where the body just kind of goes wild and starts whacking itself. And it could explain away some of the marks, the bruises, and that kind of thing. But so far, I haven't seen hide nor hair of an expert. So hopefully someone has come into the stand to explain that away. Otherwise, the only thing you're left with is the testosteronic effects of Dad beating and wailing on that kid. And I think the jury's going to be left with a foregone conclusion that he's guilty, and there's really nothing else left. The burden's on him now to put on an expert.
Yeah. And we only have like 5 seconds here. Do you think he testifies?
Yeah, I think he's the kind of guy that probably wants to. You know, he's done all these searches, and he's the smartest guy in the room. And by the way, Johns Hopkins, like you mentioned, Vinny.
Yeah.
I think so.
Smartest guy in the room.